Hi everybody, it's Miss Celeste from the library. Today I'm going to read to you a story by National Geographic readers called Planes. And the name of the person that wrote this is Amy Shields. If we look here before we turn the page, we see all different types of planes, or a couple different types of planes. And some of them are upside down, so it looks like they're doing some sort of tricks. So you have to be specially trained to do that, I'm sure. It looks fun, I guess, but also a little scary. So we start out, it says flying high, and it looks like we're in some sort of a room, and let's see where we are. So this woman that looks like a pilot says, there are seat belts but no steering wheel. There is no gas pedal. Where are we? We are in the cockpit of an airplane. So the cockpit is in the front of the plane, and that's how they fly it. So there's all different controls and steering wheel. You have to be really specially trained in order to fly something like this. Looks very confusing. So she says, hi, I am Pilot Nick. Welcome aboard. So the pilot sits in the cockpit, which we just saw. We sit in the cabin. Some of you may have been on a plane, and this is the cabin where you sit. And the cabin has TVs in the seats. See right there? It has bathrooms. It has a kitchen, so we can have a snack. It is just like home, but 30,000 feet in the air. So that's the inside of a large plane. Alrighty. And she says, I can see my neighbor. So if you can look out the window there, you see the wing of the plane, and you look down and you see all the clouds and the land, and it looks like a checkerboard, all the different fields here. So she says, look out the window. I am above the earth. I am above. The earth looks like a quilt of fields, forests, cities, and towns. Very exciting to sit up there and look out there. So sky trucks. She says, I can't hear anything. So a sky truck, some planes do not have TVs or snacks. They are working planes. This is the inside of a C-17 Globemaster. It carries a mobile home bolted to the floor. VIPs are very important people go in here to talk in private. So they're all in here, sitting here, and they're talking in private. I've never seen one of these before, so that's very interesting. So here we see a plane on the runway before takeoff. So it says here, some planes are built to carry stuff, big stuff. This is the Autonova Nove 225. It is the biggest plane ever made. It is so big and heavy, it needs 32 wheels to land. 32 wheels all back in here. And you can drive 80 cars into the belly of this plane. So we know how big one car is. So this plane can carry 80 cars. That's amazing. And then it flies in the air. It's even more amazing. So the smallest plane used to be the Bumblebee. It is 9.5 feet long. Then came the Bumblebee 2. It was about a foot shorter. So here's the little Bumblebee plane. Looks like a bumblebee. So there are even smaller planes, but they are not for people. This is a drone. It is flown by remote control. So right here you see something that looks like a plane, but it's what they call a drone. I think some of you may be familiar with drones. So fast and fancy. The fastest plane is the SR-71 Blackbird. Only 2 people fit in this plane. It flies 3,418 miles per hour. So the SR-71 is a spy plane. So I guess the 2 people sit here and there and see how it's flying over some sort of mountain. Do you know which plane brought us the boomerang? Some planes are plain, some are painted. So look, here's red one. This is Qantas, so that must be from Australia. So the boomerang and the red plane came from Australia. So this is where the boomerang came from, for those of you that have that and play with the boomerang. Interesting. So this plane is a propeller plane. The propeller is inside the nose of this flying tiger. So it's painted on the outside like I guess like a tiger or a shark to me. And it has, this is the propeller here. This is the blade that keeps it flying. So long ago, some pilots painted their planes with scary faces. These planes are called flying tigers. They were flown in World War II. So I don't think there's any around today that would fly. So propeller What is a propeller? Up here it says an engine that turns blades to make the plane fly. Most planes leave the ground from a runway, but sometimes the runway is in the middle of the ocean. The USS Enterprise is an aircraft carrier. It carries 70 airplanes, 5,000 people, and enough cooks to make 15,000 meals a day. So I guess she's on the plane. She says, "I'm here, you just can't see me." So what you see is this aircraft carrier on the ocean with all these planes on it that take off and leave at certain times of the day, I'm sure. That must be very fascinating to watch. The runway on the Enterprise is 20 stories above the ocean. Planes take off into the air from the deck. They go from 0 to 165 miles an hour in 2 seconds. So landing is just as hard. Each plane has a tail hook. The hook catches on a wire to stop the plane. These pilots have nerves of steel. So here's the tail hook that stops the plane. So the jet. So this gives you an explanation of what a jet is. An engine that uses a stream of gases to make the planes fly. So these are jet airplanes, she's saying. So flying gas station. Here's another pilot with nerves of steel. The little plane is a B-2 Stealth bomber. The pilot is filling his gas tank while he's flying in the air. Look at that. This is the B-2 Stealth bomber, and it's actually sending gas up into the airplane. So it's refueling it. So Stealth, wing words, secret or undercover. I guess it's an undercover plane. The Wright brothers were brave too. They were the first to fly a plane. That was more than 100 years ago, but we still remember them. They were smart and unafraid, and they did it first. Hooray! So these are the Wright brothers. So there's Orville and Wilbur, and they are holding an anemometer. An anemometer is a tool for measuring wind speed. So I guess that's what they used when they were figuring out how to fly their plane. 100 years before the Wright brothers, someone else was dreaming of flying. But this balloon was never built, so no one ever flew it. So this shows you how someone it's called La Minerva. They were thinking about flying in the air, but again, it was never built. So it's always been the dream of people to fly. All right. So this is the end of our story. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you soon. Bye now.